A dog is a man's best friend. Unless he looks like a mouse. Hey, say hi to YouTube. Hi, YouTube. We're here in one of our secret garages, and we're going to be testing the Volkswagen Tiguan SUV. This is more of a sporty SUV than an economy SUV, but we'll get into that later as the test rolls along. And please don't send me any emails telling me I'm pronouncing the Tiguan name wrong. I know you're probably right, but come on guys, it's kind of a silly name to begin with. But that's Volkswagen's choice, it's their car. So let's roll on. Wow, big headlights. These headlights are rather large, so we're going to take them out in the dark and see if the light that comes out is as big as the lens. From a distance of 100 feet on low beams, adequate light even though it rides a bit low on the ground. High beams quite brilliant. This building is 300 feet away. The brights do reach out. Not the brightest I've ever seen, but more than adequate. Go to low beam, doesn't quite make it, but far enough. Overall, these are pretty good headlights. Now we'll check out the cabin, and typical Volkswagen, nothing fancy, but very functional and well built. A wee bit cramped in the second row seating, but nothing to worry about, unless you're over 6 feet tall. A very well designed gauge cluster. Civil climate control, just 3 knobs. Doesn't get better than that. A decent sized glove box. Moderate sized center console. This is the best feature right here. On most cars, the power window controls are usually way down here where you can't see them. Here they're mounted on top of the door. Easy to reach, easy to see. All vehicles should have a system like this. It really works well. The only gripe I had is there's no satellite radio in this. AM, FM, are you kidding me? Who listens to AM, FM unless you want to listen to Rush Limbaugh all day? Even cheap Korean go-karts have satellite radio standard. Now that doesn't mean you can't order it, and this car was kind of a stripped bare bones at $25,000, and I've seen some of them post for like $34,000, so maybe you just have to pay extra, but still, they should all have satellite radio as far as I'm concerned. My only complaint thus far. By the way, I made some inquiries, and in Europe they call this the Tiguan, and people over here call it the Tiguan as well, I've noticed. Shouldn't that be spelled T-E-A-G-U-A-N? I'm going to call it the Tiguan because it's my video and I can call it whatever I want. How's that? Well, actually, there's a second complaint, and on Volkswagens, you turn the engine off and this fan is running. It's not that hot out here, Volkswagen. You're just draining my battery and drowning out my video. Stop it. Turn off. Okay, it finally shut up. Let's continue. Now, many SUVs in this size class get like 23 to 33 miles per gallon. This one has the lowest gas mileage of them all at 21 to 26 miles per gallon. That's the bad news. The good news is, this isn't some dinky economy car engine that you're going to have to strain every time you're going up a hill. It's the proven 200 horsepower turbo power plant that's been used in Volkswagen and Audi cars for some time, and it moves out quite well. Well worth the fuel mileage penalty. It's hooked to an excellent automatic transmission that has normal mode, sport mode, or you can shift manually mode. In the real world, my fuel consumption was 27 mpg on the highway, which is very good. But running this around town after resetting the computer, 17.7. Okay, I was kind of driving fast. But that's super premium fuel, by the way, not standard unleaded. Like I said, performance costs. But who cares when you're having fun, right? This engine loves to be driven and loves to be driven hard. Sports sedan here. Nice brakes, by the way. The best part of this vehicle is the suspension. Nice and firm. This is really more of a sports sedan than an SUV. It takes corners on a dime with quick steering as well. Oh yeah. Yet the ride is very smooth and comfortable. I'm coming up on a speed bump at 30 miles per hour. Didn't even feel it. Seriously, this is probably the best suspension I've ever had on any SUV I've ever driven. The fact that Volkswagen did this at such a low price is frankly amazing. And as far as the suspension goes, you might find me repeating myself as the video goes along. I did some driving clips yesterday, raved about the suspension then, so that's just the way it is. Highway patrol roadblock. So I'm just wondering, if I had a Dodge Viper and I floored the son of a bitch and passed this cop doing about 180 miles per hour, do you think he'd chase me? Won't find out in this car. Chrysler, send me a Dodge Viper so I can find out. Germans make some of the best suspensions, and this is a perfect example right here. The ride is a bit on the firm side, yet all the bumps and creaks never reach their way into the cabin. Actually, this ride's about as good as any BMW or Audi I've driven lately. I take it the steering is electric because it has no feedback, but it's still very quick and responsive, so I'm not complaining. When going off pavement, the superior suspension design shows up even better. There's a lot of rumbling and action going on down around the suspension tire area with all these bumpy roads. But it's not reaching the cabin, and I'm very comfortable. Relatively smooth, actually. Those who want to do more serious off-pavement driving, this vehicle is more than capable. The suspension, again, does a good job of absorbing the bumps. There's adequate ground clearance. But keep in mind, this isn't a Jeep Wrangler. This is still based on a car chassis. So don't do anything silly. But for light-duty off-roading, more than capable. Now that we're done playing in the sand, we're going back on pavement and take a short highway trip. Oh my, we've got some deep, nasty ruts about 1.5 feet deep. And I don't think we got the ground clearance to do that. But one of the advantages of having a narrow vehicle is you can squeeze in between things, like so. And go around things, like so. Like those ruts on the road. Ah, there we go. I'm not sure what the towing capacity is on this Volkswagen, but seems to be pulling this quite well. Don't try this at home. Well, my V-dub's a little overheated from pulling that heavy trailer, so I think I'll let it rest in my garage for a while. We got nice ventilation in here. Should cool it off in a hurry. I think I need a new roof. This Volkswagen is a nice highway car. The stiff suspension provides lots of high-speed stability. Wind noise is very low. And the turbo engine provides lots of passing power. Overall, the Volkswagen Tiguan, or Tiguan, whichever you want to call it, is really a fantastic vehicle for 25 grand. Now, I haven't driven one of the $30,000 plus models lately, so I'm not sure what they're putting in there to jack up the price, but this is certainly worth 25 bills. The only SUV on the market this size that offers equal performance is the Mazda CX-5, and we already did a video on that. So look it up and watch it. In fact, here's the link for that Mazda CX-5 video right here.